much. We're hot now.
much.
What was the song?
R.I.P. Sly and the Family Stone.
It was a
gave
Sly
me
song?
everyday people. Sometimes I think the
I'm not writing that
algorithm
down.
like hears us talking about things
Yeah.
and then says, "Ooh, here's a song you were talking
That's
about."
a good song. That's a good song.
Can't accept the green one who wants to be a skinny one. Different strokes for different folks. So on and so forth. And
Get to the part of the song I know.
I
am everyday people. You remember when that was a commercial for
Yes. What was that for?
one of the stores that's no longer around, one of the office supply stores. What is it? Office Max? It was whatever Aldi was before it became Aldi. That's what it was for.
No, it was Toyota.
Was it Toyota?
I don't know. Yeah, it was on Toyota. I thought it was an office supply store
I
too.
think in the 90s it was office supply store.
But this one says Toyota 1998.
Maybe it was Toyota. I don't know, man. But yeah,
And then apparently Cher and Future covered it
Who?
for Gap in 2017.
Who?
Cher and Future covered Everyday People
For what?
a Gap commercial in 2017.
What type of Mad
Capitalism
Lib?
will kill us.
What type of Mad Lib sentence is that?
It
Give
is
me a
Mad
famous
Lib.
female singer, Cher. Give me a famous group, Sly and the Family Song.
Give me a famous
rapper, Future. Give me a clothing store, The Gap. All right, here's your sentence.
The Gap is so back.
Where did it go? Did The Gap ever leave?
Yeah, I mean, it like had a lull.
Okay.
But now, like, women are standing in line for things from The Gap.
Get outta here.
I know. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, June 17th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. The Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from an NBA championship. They beat the Pacers last night. We will get into all the action from Game 5. Desmond Bane is in Orlando. Kevin Durant wants to be in San Antonio. We'll get into the latest on the trade front. We'll talk a little baseball. Got to update our innings counter. Watch Shohei Ohtani pitch in Dodger blue. Saw something in yesterday's College World Series that we haven't seen since 1960. We'll do a little TV Tuesday, what we're watching. Love Island. Some show called I forget the name of it on HBO. Wow. The Mortician. Thank you. You're watching that? I'm watching that. We'll talk about the Mortician. It's wild. It's a Tuesday. You know what we say. That's why we call it Gatorade. That's why we call it Gatorade. The old Gatorade commercials. Is your child a natural-born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Tony Allen joining us. I believe Hey!
Young T.A. with a fresh chop. That boy sliced today, boy. You say, that boy got the tape on the side? KTA.
Hey, and I like how you blurred out your background so we can't see that La Quinta this time.
Can't see the hole in the wall, TA.
Can't see the hole in the wall.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling of having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope your week is off to a wonderful start. The Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from an NBA title. Pacers on the brink of elimination. Game 5 goes to OKC, 120-109. And watching that game last night, it was like, oh, the Thunder are in control. It's going to be a blowout. And then they weren't. And then the Pacers got it within 2. And they're turning it over all over the place, but they're still within single digits. And you're thinking, can the Pacers actually do this again? Again? And then they gave up those 2 offensive rebounds. Jalen Williams hit the big 3. And then they turned it over 4 times in a row with a timeout sandwiched in between 2 of them. And you're like, no, they're not going to do it again. And it goes from single digits to double digits, and OKC carries it from their Pacers with 23 turnovers overall. Someday, a team will value the basketball appropriately. But last night, OKC with 32 points off of those turnovers, and we've got to give it the Jalen Williams star treatment for last night, because that was the Jalen Williams game. 40 points on 25 shots. He was 14 of 25 from the field. He is 24 years old. And if there was any question of if he could elevate to this level, we have now seen a singular bar-like series from Jalen Williams this finals, because in game 1, he has 17 points. In game 2, he has 19 points. In game 3, he has 26 points. In game 4, he has 27 points. And then in game 5, he puts together a 40-piece. Up. It was so impressive. Like, just his aggression, his confidence. He had some big threes. He scored in transition. He has the little tricky fadeaways going. He just did everything. And to have, again, a 24-year-old capable of being the guy who can level up next to the guy in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who also had 31 points last night, along with 10 assists. The two of them, I think I saw combined, or were responsible for 103 of the Thunder's 120 points between assists and scoring. That's incredible. They carried it. And obviously you got contributions up and down, some big threes from Wiggins, from Case and Wallace. But at the end of the day, it was the Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander duo that seals that one for OKC.
Yeah, if you're not going to be able to stop Shai, you should be able to at least slow down Jalen. If you're not going to be able to stop Jalen, you got to be able to at least slow down Shai. And the Pacers, outside of one game, hadn't been able to slow down either one of them. And yesterday, they both had it going. They both had it from the field and defense. Jalen Williams is so good defensively, and he's so versatile defensively. There will be possessions, plural, in a game, in this finals and just in games in general, but we're talking about this finals, where he goes from initially on Pascal Siakam to screen comes, switched on to Halliburton. Then a handoff happens. Now he's on Neesmith, and he looks up. He realizes there's a guard on Miles Turner, and so he screams at the guard, "Switch with me." The guard goes out to Neesmith. He goes down, and he's battling with Miles Turner. Shot goes up. He boxes out. He might not get the rebound, but he's boxing out the center. He started off on the power forward. He's guarding the point guard. He ends up switched on a wing player, and then he ends up down low on the block battling with your center. That type of versatility is hard to find in the NBA, and the Thunder have that in him. The Thunder have that in Caruso. The Thunder have that in Lou Dort as well. They've got 3 dudes who can legitimately guard 1 through 5, especially if you're going to be going to a small ball type of thing where your 5 is more perimeter focused. That is such versatility on the defensive end, and that allows them to be in a position right now where they're 1 win away from the winning the finals. Now, I will say, I ended up going to sleep about midway through the first quarter. The game was watching me. I wasn't watching the game. It was like, yo, I'm about to pass out. So I went to sleep, recorded it, and I hate that I recorded it. I woke up at like 1:45 this morning because that's what I do for some damn reason. That third quarter from TJ McConnell. You thought I was bad last game or 2 games ago about McConnell. What the hell was that? Where in the hell is that coming from? TJ McConnell was everywhere in that third quarter.
TJ
It was
McConnell
incredible
in the
to
jaw
watch.
ones. TJ McConnell in the jaw
Wait, he
ones,
was in
putting
jaws?
the team on his back.
I didn't know he was in the
third
jaws.
quarter. My every day I do my little picture on Instagram, and this was the TJ McConnell hunched over after giving it his all in the third quarter. And I said, approach your day like TJ McConnell approached the third quarter of last night's game. He had more points than the rest of his team in the third quarter. And obviously you needed it. And we'll get
He
into
almost had more points than the Thunder in the third quarter also,
Yes.
right? He had 15. The Thunder had 19?
I think he had
30. No. My man TJ McConnell had 15 third quarter points. If he didn't have 15, damn it felt like 15. But it's only a difference of 2.
He had 13.
He had 13?
But just being mathematically
Felt like
correct.
40.
Pull-up jumper after pull-up jumper after.
Man.
I'm like, oh my God, it's TJ McConnell, and you needed every bit of it. Like, that's the thing that's so crazy is, one, the Pacers were in that game in spite of the 23 turnovers, in spite of Tyrese Halliburton, who we will get into, and in spite of needing a 13-point performance from TJ McConnell in the third quarter of that game to basically bring them back to life, Undertaker style. But he was so good. Like, I will never forget. I will try not to forget because I don't like these things to get buried. Like that third quarter performance from TJ McConnell should be celebrated. There was a Neesmith putback dunk over Chet Holmgren that like barely was a whisper. It barely certified on the radar last night. And it was one of the best dunks we have seen in the playoffs. But you lose. And so you're like, oh, well, who cares? I guess it actually didn't happen. It was wild. This is the performance of TJ McConnell. We'll go through the TJ highlights first because it was electric factory of TJ McConnell. Like, what do you do? What do you do? At one point, I think he said, they can't stop me. Oh, the spin.
Was he saying they can't stop me?
They can't stop me.
Or they have to guard me?
Whatever it was.
Either way it goes, get him, TJ.
Neither things were happening.
Get him. Go, TJ. Go, TJ. Go. Go, TJ. Go, TJ. Go. Go, TJ. Layup. Let's go.
I'll never forget the TJ McConnell experience.
Bucket and 1.
Can't stop this. And then this is the Neesmith dunk over Chet Holmgren. Like, that was so sick. And I remember when it happened, like, Mike Breen barely responded. I saw somebody say, wow, it was so great, it took his breath away. I don't think he even noticed because at that point, it's 120-105 and nobody cares within the game. But it was an incredible moment. It was a really bad night for Tyrese Halliburton, and that is a case of 2 things can be true. See, I'll let you go first, CJ, actually, because you're leaning forward. You're like,
He's not
elevating in.
He's not right.
No, okay, thank you. His calf isn't right. We have known
not
he's been
right.
dealing with this calf strain, and then he clearly tweaks it in the first quarter. He goes back. He's walking back out of the locker room with the ice taped to his calf, and you're wondering, is he going to be able to come back in? And to his credit, he guts it out. And his stat line is so weird because he had 7 rebounds. He had 6 assists. So he's moving, but he's not taking shots. And he had 0 field goals on 6 attempts, 4 points in the game last night. if you only watched the halftime show, which since you recorded the game, I assume that you saved yourself from the halftime show. It was so bad, you almost should have gone back and watched it for the sake of being able to say,
I still have it.
watched the worst halftime show of any any sport finals ever.
How much of this is at this point people just piling
No,
on
this
now?
one was
This
actually
is,
terrible.
This is bad.
Pete Pranica tweeted about it.
Really?
Yes, that's how bad it was. That halftime show was embarrassing for ESPN, and especially coming out of the whole solitaire gate and Stephen A. Smith being on his phone and just the commentary on ESPN not taking or not putting the production value that you would hope to see behind an NBA Finals.
We
and
got the starting lineups last night.
Yes, so I was like, okay, great. They're listening. Clearly, thank you for getting on NBA Twitter and taking notes. Got the starting lineups, got the small little logos at some point. I appreciate that in real time, they're essentially taking a survey of what fans want and then delivering. I thought the starting lineups were great. It gave the little zhuzh going into the game. They showed the intro video from OKC. Home arenas do that so well. And so why not use it? Like, you don't even have to do any additional work on your end. You just have to show the Jumbotron of what they're doing. The player intros set the tone. We get to the halftime show, and obviously Tyrese Halliburton, I had the same response that you had, CJ. He's not right. He's gutting it out, but he's not right. So, of course, what do we get from Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith? Like, absolute ridicule. Like, Kendrick Perkins is saying that he's scared. Stephen A. Smith is saying that he should be benched. And Bob Myers is sitting up there trying to give actual analysis on Tyrese Halliburton's injury and how that can play into what you saw in the first half. And he's getting completely bulldozed by just stupidity.
I mean, at a certain point, I thought, okay, you got to bench Tyrese.
Well, we come out of the game and it's like, should TJ McConnell have been playing over Tyrese Halliburton down the stretch? I think we could all make a case for it.
He left the game.
Yes.
He left the game. Tyrese Halliburton left it in the first. It had to be in the first quarter because that's when I zoned out. He left the game. He went and he had that fall trying to go by Chet, and at that moment, you kind of realize, hey, whatever's going on with that calf, he can't go by people.
Right.
Also, Chet on the perimeter, phenomenal. That's why that big is valuable, right? That not that big being Chet, but that type of big is valuable. Back to Tyrese, he can't separate.
Well, imagine being hurt and being chased by Lou Dort.
And then they pass you off to Jalen Williams. And then they pass you off to, hold up, check the notes.
Oh, a rare
to Lou Dort. Not Lou Dort, Carson. Kaysen Wallace.
Yeah.
Then they pass you from him to Alex Caruso? What the hell are you supposed to do in that situation?
And your calf is barely hanging on.
Man, get out of here. It's healthy dudes who get locked up by this team. If you got one anything, one pinky finger, one big toe, it doesn't matter. If you've got one and they decide, the Thunder, hey, we're going to lock this dude down, you're getting locked down because you just can't. Yeah. You can't. And if it's your calf and you lose the explosiveness necessary to go by people and you lose the ability to jump off of that leg, so now you can only go one way and jump off one leg. Now there's this freaking unicorn back there in the back line named Chet Holmgren who's going to time it and he's going to pin your stuff, right? Like he's damned right now. He's
and then
just
the
not
Pacers
healthy.
are damned because he's in the game and it's essentially playing 5-on-4 down the stretch because he's not shooting. He's not a threat. So you don't even have to worry about him by the end of the game. But I did think the commentary during the halftime show was just so indicative of like where that criticism has come from, and it's a first step to ridicule. Like, you want to make fun. It's like the biggest names of the NBA halftime show were eager to jump in there and just punk on Tyrese Halliburton instead of perhaps going the opposite route of, wow, how impressive that he tried to play through this. You can have a true, like, well thought out analytic conversation about should he still be playing without it coming from a place of like, this guy's slog, get him out of the game. He's not worthy. This is what Tyrese Halliburton does. You get these great performances and then it's a dud. I don't think it's fair to put this in the great performances and then a dud. He's not right. And it will be a massive factor in the Pacers making this a series. We got to get him the Advil that everybody else is getting. Throw Tyrese Halliburton the Advil and watch him fly. And I'm not willing to definitively say the series is over, although the echoes of Thunder in 6 are feeling very strong at this point. But we've seen this Pacers team, like they play from behind, and now they're behind in the series, and they'll go home, backs against the wall. We have seen them come through with shocking performances. Even last night's game, when it gets back to 2 points, you're like, this is how they won game 1. And they shouldn't have won game 1. But that's what this Pacers team does, and that's why you're led to believe they might just do it again, despite everything working against them last night, except for TJ McConnell.
So I had to record it, got sleepy, went to sleep, recorded it. Do you know that my damn Hulu cut the last 6 minutes of the game? So when I see with my own 2 eyes, I see it go from, I think it's a 2-point game, and then the big 3 comes in, right? So it's like 92-95 or 92-96, something like that. And it cuts right there. I was like, no, what's going to end up happening? And before I went the allegedly, I wouldn't dare do this the unscrupulous route. I was like, okay, let me check the articles and first see who won. Thunder won, cool. Well, what the hell happened? And so I went to the score graphic, the graphic that tells you, hey, the little bar graph, not bar graph, line graph, hey, here's what it is, and this is the score, and then the lines separate on the ESPN. So I went there, I was like, okay, I am here. It is 92-96. And then less than a minute, maybe a minute and a half, it gets to 97-103, and then the next minute is 113, 114, 97.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy hell, what the hell happened to the Pacers? How did they fall apart that quickly? Because like you said, it was set up for them to do the exact same thing that they did in game 1 and that they've gotten close to doing in a couple of the other games where the Thunder are in complete and total control of the game until the fourth quarter, and it's oddly close. A game that feels like it is 20, 25 points away is really just 6 points away, and then boom, the Pacers hit a gear, and the Thunder just can't keep up with that gear in the fourth quarter. I thought that we were on pace for something like that to happen, and then it didn't. Is that just Tyrese being down?
It's Tyrese being down, and it's the Thunder doing what they always do. And it's resting on their defense. I swear, I go back to those 4 turnovers for the Pacers in a row that went from single digits to double digits. None of them provided a single scoring opportunity. They didn't get a single shot up. It was just turnover, 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 turnover. Coming out of a timeout, turnover, turnover. Matherin, bad pass. Tyrese Halliburton, bad pass. Halliburton, bad pass.
Oh, boy.
Benedict.
Oh, boy. Benedict.
He's gone down in the Benedict rankings. I think Cumberbatch has taken a step ahead of him.
He's still ahead of Arnold, though, right?
Well, everyone's ahead of Arnold. Okay. We don't remember him fondly.
Okay. All right.
We don't have a lot of Benedicts out there.
This reminds, remember the Ionescu game? Remember she had
Ionescu,
that?
Yes.
Yeah, that, what's her name, Sabrina?
You refuse to say her name.
I'm trying to say it again. Say her name.
She's also been fantastic this season so far, and I cannot wait for you to have an experience where you are willing to come around on this take. But that's fine.
I haven't said anything bad
Someone
about
from
her.
the Liberty texted me.
I haven't said anything bad about her. What somebody from the Liberty texted you saying what?
Can't wait for Sabrina to prove CJ wrong.
Listen, from her mouth or his mouth to God's ears, I can't wait for it either. I haven't said anything bad about Sabrina.
You just brought up Sabrina Ionescu randomly comparing her to Benedict Matherin.
Because she had a game.
That's insane.
It's not insane.
Yes,
it is not.
He is a bench player for the Pacers,
It is not. You
and
hadn't let
she
me
has
finish
a
my
shoe.
thought. Can I finish my thought?
Yes.
All right. She had a game in the WNBA Finals, right? She had a moment, much like Benedict Matherin had a game in the NBA Finals and had a moment. Both of them have fallen apart, right? Both of them fell apart in that finals, but we remember Sabrina a bit more fondly because her team won. We're not going to do that with Benedict because his team lost. That is the point I am making. I'm not comparing them on a star level. I am saying that, hey, we've seen this happen before where one player has had a really good game in one of the finals games and then fall apart. The difference is if you win, we don't talk about you falling apart. But if you lose, we will absolutely talk about you falling apart. And if the Pacers lose this series, we will forget about the Benedict Matherin good game and we'll bring up all of these less than moments that he's had, all of these head-scratching moments that he's had.
Yes.
Because they lost.
Well, because with the Pacers, too, it will forever be like if you're a Pacers fan, you're going to be sick thinking about Game 4 for the rest of your life. if you lose this series, when you likely lose this series, that is the most likely outcome at this point. You will look back on Game 4 and realize that was the one to get. And you gave it away. And a part of it was Benedict Mathurin providing the Thunder 5 points in 44 seconds that essentially sealed the game between trying to tackle Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and missing 3 or 4 free throws. That's what you'll remember from Benedict Mathurin. Luckily for TJ McConnell, you'll have the positives to remember from this game. Like, just in terms of random players who you weren't expecting to talk about we have this every single year. And that is the difference between a positive memory and a negative memory. And that's too bad for Benedict Mathurin. Do you think this series is over? Will the Thunder close it out in 6?
They close it out in 6.
I really want it to go 7. Because then once you get to a Game 7, there's just the randomness of a Game 7.
Yeah.
That's
some good stuff. That's it right there. That's it right there. But again, the Pacers series isn't over until somebody wins 4 of them. That shouldn't be breaking news. Best of 4. The Pacers have thoroughly impressed me. I didn't think they were capable of this. And not this as in winning 2 games in the NBA Finals, but they are close. They are on the cusp in all of these games, the ones they lose as well, of winning it. They almost pulled it out last night before that bad stretch of 2.5, 3 minutes of basketball? If they don't have, I may as well just, if I could pin this statement, I'd pin it, and then I'd just copy and paste it to all of these other teams. So the Memphis Tigers would get some of this. At a certain point, I'm sure that somebody in the W will get some of this. I know it's dudes in the NBA who are getting this as well. If you just take care of the ball a little bit better. 23 turnovers is an ungodly amount of turnovers if you expect to win a championship and beat a team as good as the Thunder. 16 is too much. But if you just cut down 7 of those, imagine what you could do with 7 more opportunities on goal.
Crazy.
Like that's it right there. And they are close to being able to take down this Thunder team, but close, but no cigar, close isn't good enough. What Brandy say almost don't count. That's the way it goes. So that's the way it goes. That's unfortunate. And now Tyrese is dealing with injuries. I was surprised at how, because I thought Chet would be limping about. I guess he got the good Advil. And I thought Jalen, we talked about Jalen also.
They replayed those 2 falls on his back last night, and I screamed again.
I thought he was going to be limping about. So I don't know. I don't know if the Thunder got the good Advil and the Pacers don't, but WNBA needs to investigate. Everybody should be getting the good Advil this time of the season.
This time of year.
This time of the year, everybody gets the good stuff.
The rules are out.
The good Advil.
The guardrails are out.
Get them out.
We love the good Advil.
It's 2 more games left. At this point, you should be able to do whatever your body needs you to do. Yeah, 2 games left in your in the NBA Finals.
Season.
2 games left in the NBA Finals. I'll say it. You should be allowed to take steroids. Let's go. It's just 2 games.
We just had a conversation about our show getting flagged for.
I forgot.
For what was the word that it flags it with? Inappropriate content?
Yeah, adult content.
Whatever.
Somebody text me.
CJ's saying that steroids should be legal.
The last 2 games?
Might get it for today.
The last 2 games of any professional sports series, Stanley Cup Finals, World Series, out. NBA Finals.
Whatever it takes to get on the court, the field, the ice.
If you got to do it, nothing wrong with just 2 times. Just like 2 weeks of HGH, like go get it. Let's go.
We got to take a break. When we come back, Desmond Bane is in Orlando already, and they have rolled out the red carpet for him. The blue carpet? I don't know what the carpet is, but it's everywhere, and he was all over the timeline from the Orlando Magic yesterday. The latest on Kevin Durant. He wants the Spurs. It is now not a secret. Kevin Durant wants to go to San Antonio. We'll get into that, plus some big baseball action from yesterday. All that and more on the other side.
I could never forget about Kai Soto.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today. The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Ionescu.
Sabrina Ionescu.
Averaging
19 points this season. Good for 6th in the WNBA.
Ionescu.
Tied with Brianna Stewart.
Ionescu.
Just had 34 points in that loss to the Fever over the weekend. Some different person reached out to me and asked why we only talk about Caitlin Clark. And I said, have you watched our show? I get it. We clip Caitlin Clark a lot. So
we do. Listen.
Anyway.
Did you tell them we clip Caitlin Clark? Because Caitlin Clark is money. And listen, man, I am if nothing else but what do we call these? Sports number whore is what I am. Because I'm out here trying to get these numbers up.
Randomly, speaking of
shocking
being
content.
a sports number, now you're really more shocking content. We're never gonna get picked up. It's over. I read this great article yesterday that I meant to send to you, and I'll gift it to you. Anyone who wants it, let me know. I'll gift it from the New York Times. It's by June Lee about how the state of sports essentially is being ruined by capitalism and how it costs nearly $5,000 a year to be a sports fan now, between like if you wanted to go to a game or all of the various streaming services, merchandise, whatnot. And basically the thesis is how sports used to be hometown investments and civic wins and like civic projects, and now it's just venture capitalists and private equity, and the biggest the check, the bigger the performance and the opportunity. And I thought it was a really good and important article, and we've talked about it a little bit fringely in the haves versus the have-nots and how it fits in college sports too. Like, it's not just in the professional realm, but it really is true. Like, sports used to be this very simple community project. And you were in a community, and you and your friends and your family, and generationally, you were a fan of this team, and you all came together, and you shared these moments that really meant something. And now that's gotten lost because it's, one, harder than ever to consistently watch your team, like between blackouts and having to have 8 different streaming packages to see every game, depending on, what league you're going with. Obviously, the NFL still has been able to, and I think it's part of the reason why they remain king is that the majority of their big games continue to be on basic cable. And this article brought up there's something in England. I know we don't like to take things from our old overseers, but they have a rule, I think it's called like the crown jewel rule, where those big matches are seen as so important that they have to be publicly broadcast. That it is, by law, if the game is big enough, it has to be available for free public consumption. And I think that's probably a pretty good point. Anyway, it's at The Athletic, June Lee. It was a really good article.
And listen, that they're doing that over there, and I think that's the right way to do these sports, especially if you want to continue to have them grow over here. But we are moving further and further away from that, and more to a pay-per-game. Like the Super Bowl, I have a very real fear, and I think it's more than a fear. I feel like this is inevitable. The Super Bowl will be pay-per-view at some point in my lifetime. And I don't want that. I don't think that's a good way to view it because sports is so very, very communal. And that's something that has routinely throughout the course of history brought us together, given us joy, given us, no matter what race, religion, gender, color, creed, is giving us all something to experience together at the same time in unison. I don't want it to go that way. I wonder, because I've had this thought also, very sophomore thought, very immature. We're not all the way into the offseason yet, so I hadn't let my mind wander about what it is in college sports quite all the way yet. But I have wondered, why couldn't the non-top 40, 45 teams in college football specifically fill that sort of a void?
But revenue sharing is so big for athletic departments.
And so then it becomes, how do you get that revenue shared? So by July,
we'll have a
23rd,
we'll have a real deep conversation about
I'll have
this.
an answer for you by
Put a
then.
pin.
We're not all the way in the off season
Put
yet.
a pin in it. But in the meantime, read that article.
Big games. Talked about your friend or somebody who messaged you about not talking about the W enough outside of Caitlin Clark. Big game. Dream Liberty tonight.
I know.
On the YouTube.
I'll be watching. That and Stanley Cup final. Do the Panthers end it?
Yeah, they end it. Game time decision, Jonquel Jones.
I thought she was playing.
I
thought Sandy said yesterday she's playing.
She's probably playing then. Online it said game time.
Back.
She's back. What do I want to say? It's not Kiki. Who's the other chick injured for the Liberty? Why am I blanking on her name all of a sudden? It was Jonquel, and it was the other starter for the Liberty.
Feebich was out.
Feebich.
Yeah.
I think she's still out.
Yeah.
She's still out.
Isn't she overseas?
Is she?
We're now at the point where
Some of them go overseas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
All right.
Anyway, that is a big game tonight. We saw what always happens when a trade happens, the weirdness of a player that you have known as one thing for his entire career make the transition to the team that he's been traded to, and that was the Desmond Bane experience yesterday. I saw back-to-back posts from the Orlando Magic account about Desmond Bane coming through the timeline, and the first one hit, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. I'm going to be rooting for Desmond Bane forever, and we talked about it yesterday. He goes to the East. His success does not hinder the Grizzlies' ultimate success at chasing their place in the Western Conference, and so he's easy to root for, and you saw that he was going to wear number 3 and get to wear one of those new Magic jerseys. And then the next one came, and it was him talking about like the facilities, and he was like, oh boy, this is a lot different than Memphis. And I was like, okay, I'll let that one pass. And then he talked about putting the jersey on. I was like, oh, this is the toughest jersey I'll ever put on. I was like, okay, that's enough. Okay, we don't have to go so quickly on that.
What's he supposed to say?
I know.
I hate it here.
I know.
Give me back to the Beale Street Blue. Like that's what you say when you
have
get
to.
Also, They gave up 4 firsts and 2 rotation players
Well, and
for
they're
you.
treating him like
You've
it.
got to be flattered, if nothing else.
Yes, it has to be an incredibly flattering experience because they are giving him the star treatment in the rollout, in having him be at the gym, in his interactions with Jamal Mosley. And I saw Kevin Durant had the tweet that you could hear their dap all the way in Memphis. And I was like, okay, Kevin Durant, you want to hear something else in Memphis?
let's can we play
It's
it?
a loud dap.
Play it
Yeah.
and listen to it.
It's forceful. That's forceful.
That dap was hard as hell. Don't ever shake my hand that way.
Oh.
Don't. There's no reason for it to pop like that. I know.
Would you rather have a pop dap
that sent
like
tingles
that,
down my spine, Jessica? That was
or
hard.
a firm handshake?
Oh, I hate
firm
the
handshake
firm
because it
handshake.
feels like a point.
Yeah, like you're trying to prove.
And as a woman, I get really angry about it. It feels
Which
like you're
one?
really trying to tell me how firm your handshake is.
Like you can whoop my ass because you got a strong handshake.
I'd rather take the
Get out of
dap. I'd rather take the poppy dap.
Show me the dap again.
With the volume.
Yeah, with the volume. Because is it a dap straight into a hug? Because
Let's see it again. Roll the
I'd
tape.
rather have
Roll
that
the
a
tape.
hard dap straight into a hug versus the super firm handshake.
I hate the firm handshake.
I could take that. Here we go. All right, so come in. What's up? Here we go. Hard ass dap straight into a hug. Okay, so this is the thing about daps. If it's that hard,
with the hug,
you hug it out afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. The one that is the worse than the way too hard dap and the way too firm handshake, is the dap pull. Don't pull me. I'm a grown ass man, dog. I'm damn near 40. Don't dap me and pull me into your chest like that.
I move fast.
Like,
too.
no, I don't know. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm 250 something pounds. Don't be pulling me like I'm small, like I'm light. No, don't do that to me.
But I do also hate the limpy handshake too.
The little grab just these fingers right here. And that's the other frustrating thing about handshakes. Sometimes we misjudge, and so you end up on my fingers and you squeeze the head. It's like, yo, if you had got me in my palm, I would have got you.
You want to know what's really gone down that I'm really thrilled for? You probably never had to deal with this in
Cheek
your
kisses?
life. Cheek kisses.
Good. Shout out to COVID.
Cheek kisses used to be aggressive.
Cheek kisses for, like, our dudes cheek kisses?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Like in workplace.
Workplace
things.
cheek kiss?
Yes. They used to exist.
No.
That was a wild time.
No.
All right.
Isaiah and Magic and
Anyway,
cheek kiss.
Desmond
and then
Bane's
we're
going to
done.
help the Magic win a championship. Listen, I loved hearing from their president yesterday because if you're going to make that kind of trade and you want to sell it to your fans, to your team, to the organization, to the city of Orlando, to the NBA in general, you do come out and say that your goal isn't to win the East, it's to win a championship. And that is why you made the move for Desmond Bane. And you believe it. You put your whole back behind it. I applaud
Fist
that
bumps is the way to
mentality.
go.
I love a fist
Fist
bump.
bumps.
You want to know the only problem with a fist bump, though?
What?
This. I feel like I'm going to hurt someone.
Okay.
So sometimes I end up doing like a side fist bump, and
Yeah, I
then
got
that feels a little weird.
Just a forearm thing, like
Yeah.
we're warriors. Forearm. Ugh.
We should do that more.
Just
Or we should
forearm.
just chest bump more.
Titties, Jessica. Like, won't that hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, we're different heights also.
That's true.
So
And that can
you're
create some
chest bumping me, and I'm
uncomfortable
hitting you in your forehead with these middies.
I often sometimes find myself randomly doing the left hand shake because my phone is so often, that's a me problem,
Okay.
in my right hand attached to my finger like this with my little mochi stick.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. And then someone will come in for a handshake and I'll be like, I don't want to shake your hand with my phone. And so I'll left hand it.
Yeah, don't give me your left hand.
And then that's weird. And then I feel bad about it.
Don't give me your
I
left
feel like
hand.
I've been disrespectful.
Always
in
shake
this
with the right,
experience.
never with the left. If you're going to extend your left out, just bump me up, man.
Kevin Durant apparently wants to go to the Spurs. It's his preferred destination. He saw Victor Wembanyama do that sidekick. I couldn't figure out if it was an AI video of Victor Wembanyama at this point. I know he is in the monk training facility in China, but there was a video of him doing sidekicks that I could not verify was actually real. This is the state of the world that we live in. But I would assume that it's real because we saw him running around the Great Wall of China and doing his meditations and doing the whole experience there at the Shaolin Temple. But Kevin Durant wants to play for the Spurs. Apparently, one of the holdups has been the package that the Spurs are willing to give, and the Suns want either and or the second round or the number 2 pick for this year's draft and or Stephon Castle. And that has been a holdup, reportedly, allegedly.
I mean, you come up out of that number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would come up out of Castle.
Right.
Like I'm not
with back-to-back rookies of the year.
I'm not doing and or you'll get this and that's the deal we can make. Castle would be a non-starter for me because I think he's got real potential and somebody you'll really be able to build around later on in the career, assuming you're able to pay him. That's the other part of this too. The way things are going right now, you got to look around and start evaluating, are we going to be able to pay this guy when time comes for us to pay him? So yes, we'll probably be good. And if we're really good, he'll probably have accolades attached to him. He'll probably be an all NBA type player if we're really good. And will we be able to pay him and Victor and some of these other guys? That's the question. I think that if you think that you won't be able to pay him, then you say, yeah, sure, come on, let's do it. And if not, if you do think you'll pay him, you don't move Castle at all. New idea, because of Alexandra in the chat. I now welcome all chest bumps. Just if you see me out and you want to say something, just run up and chest bump me.
Chest bump?
Don't warn me at all. Just chest bump me. I think that would be funny as hell.
I do too.
You'll get knocked down.
Security. I'll get knocked out.
Down.
Oh.
But
I'll get up again.
Hey!
You're never going to keep me down. I'll get knocked out. I will say, if Kevin Durant goes to the Spurs, just great. What a spectacular divisional rival for
how
the
much
Grizzlies
longer
making.
does he have?
I'll give him
Kevin Durant is my age.
37.
Okay.
He's 37 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen LeBron go 40 plus now.
Okay. But it's not, very clearly, it's not the same LeBron. This LeBron James cannot take over a game. This LeBron James cannot take over an entire playoff series.
Right.
Let alone an entire playoffs. All right.
But you don't need, it's not the necessity of Kevin Durant being your number 1. You have Victor flipping Wembanyama.
Okay. So it can still be a high
level scorer without the responsibility of being the carrier.
Gotcha.
That to me is worth a lot.
So,
maybe not Stephon Castle, but it's worth a lot.
3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6?
I'll put 3.
3, okay.
I mean, I feel like we're going to get to this point where it feels silly that we capped the expectations for players. Modern medicine is a marvel at 40, but right now it still is hard. Even just thinking of injury history and what we've seen, but he's still been so effective. That's the thing. It's not like Kevin Durant went to Phoenix and fell apart. They fell apart, and Kevin Durant was still awesome. So if it's not the Spurs, some people have said he's going to end up in one of the destinations that he specifically doesn't want to go to. Everyone remembers the Kawhi Leonard is not going to Toronto, and then what happens to Kawhi Leonard? He goes to Toronto and wins a championship in Toronto. The Raptors are a dark horse. The Timberwolves.
The Raptors?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the league sources. The Raptors are willing to dangle any combination of R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Jakob Poeltl, and the number 9 pick in trade talk centered around Kevin Durant, was the report yesterday.
If you're giving up something like that for Kevin Durant and you're the Raptors, what the hell do you have left?
Scotty.
Okay.
Greatest player in the NBA. Okay. Remember that?
All right. They're not.
I want him to go.
They're not letting Dick go.
Now want the funniest thing to happen, and that would be for him to go to the Timberwolves after all the reports that he really doesn't want to go to the Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards essentially being like, "What the heck?" And then if they ended up being together, that'd be funny.
That would be funny. Dick is still there. The Raptors still gonna keep Dick around.
Sorry.
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah, he's exposed.
That's on
Jessica.
me.
That is on you. Shocking content.
Me. All right, we'll take a quick break. More shocking content ahead. Crazy baseball action yesterday. Shohei Ohtani pitched for the first time for the Dodgers. Very coincidental timing if you want to open that third eye, which we often do on this show. Plus, we saw something that we haven't seen in 65 years at the College World Series. We'll update our inning counter on the other side.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Tony Allen joining us. I believe we. Hey!
Young TA with a fresh chop. That boy sliced today, boy. You say that boy got the tape on the side? Okay, TA.
Hey, and I like how you blurred out your background so we can't see that La Quinta this time.
Can't see the hole in the wall, TA.
Can't see the hole in the wall.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Tigers are going to play in November in the Bahamas, the Baha Mar tournament, and the other teams expected to be there. Purdue, Wake Forest, and possibly Texas Tech. So Texas Tech's going to be good. Purdue's going to be good. If you don't have a roster that puts you in that same conversation, it could be a tough trip to the Bahamas.
Yep.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals Series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. Inning counter update for our baseball viewing. I think I need to add at least like 12 innings.
12. How so?
I'm putting 12. I watched Sunday Night Baseball.
Okay. You watched four
Giants,
and a half
Giants,
innings.
Dodgers.
4.5 innings of Sunday Night
Sure.
Baseball. Okay.
I watched almost the entirety of the LSU Arkansas game.
So what's that, 7 innings?
It's 9.
College is 9 also?
Yeah, for the men.
You watched the entirety of it?
I watched 6. We'll land on 6
innings. So, okay, 10 and a half.
I watched an inning of Murray State, Arkansas yesterday.
11 and a half.
And I watched the highlights of Shohei Ohtani
Nah, that
pitching
shit don't
yesterday.
count. 11 and a half.
Okay, fine.
We'll give the show 11 and a half.
All right, 11 and a half
11
on the
and a
inning
half.
counter. But I did watch Shohei Ohtani's highlights because Shohei Ohtani pitched for the Dodgers for the first time last night. His first pitching appearance in nearly 2 years after his elbow surgery and rehab. It is a wild thing to witness the National League leader in home runs also throw a 100.2 mile per hour fastball on the same night. Like every time you're watching professional sports, you will have these reminders of just how incredible these athletes are. And then you see something like what Shohei Ohtani did last night, and you're like, oh my God, he's He is not real. That is not real. But it was real for Shohei Ohtani, and it was 1 inning and 1 inning only. He threw 28 pitches. He is essentially rehabbing in a big league game. So rather than sending him to the minors, they are rolling him out for small bursts with the Dodgers.
Because you can't send him to the minors because he's your best batter.
Right. And that was what was so crazy last night was he finished the top of the inning at 7:22. At 7:24, he was in the batter's box to lead off. He did not step in the dugout. He was offered water. He refused. So he did not have a sip of water. He just went from one job to the next job. And it was just a crazy thing to witness. Like, we don't see that. And we haven't seen a National League player start a game as a pitcher and also bat in the leadoff spot since 1953. Since the 50s. And just the third overall to do it since 1900. Like, it is such a unique, unicorn-like situation. And his final stat line, pitched the 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, no strikeouts. He then doubled in his second at-bat, brought in a game-tying run, which was big because that meant that he would not be the pitcher responsible for a loss if it happened. But you were able to just imagine the world where he's pitching more than 1 inning and you are able to witness just something wondrous and incredible. Now, I did think the timing of this all was just a little curious. Just a smidgen of curiosity. Well, yesterday was also the day that Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter began his 57-month prison sentence for bank fraud and subscribing to a false tax return after stealing $17 million from Ohtani to cover his sports gambling debts. Now, coincidences happen all the time, and the most likely outcome is usually a coincidence. So it just happened to be that Shohei Ohtani was scheduled to pitch for the first time in Dodger blue on the day that his former interpreter began his prison sentence. But it does also provide a pretty smooth opportunity for the focus to be on, oh my gosh, Shohei Ohtani just did something that we haven't seen in ages, versus, hey, remember that weird story with Shohei Ohtani's interpreter? He's going to jail now.
What was the name? Lane brought this up on Odds Couple. This story up on Odds Couple. It's a gambling show, Grind City Media subsidiary. Monday episode out now, GCM.com, GrindCityMedia.com, Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Thank you.
What was the name of Barry Bonds' homeboy? Remember they were trying to get him to testify against Barry, and he was like, nah, I'm not talking, and he ended up doing jail time?
Yes.
And they kept going back to him, and he kept going back to jail? This feels...
Greg Anderson.
Is that who it is? That name doesn't sound familiar. But
repeatedly refused to testify in the
then it's
federal
Greg
investigation
Anderson.
and trial
Then it's
regarding
Greg
Barry Bonds
Anderson.
and his alleged use of performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, like this feels like that. Like, hey, fall on this sword for me. I got you. Allegedly. Respectfully.
Serve those 57 months.
It's just 57 months is...
And you'll never struggle again. That's a long time.
3 is 36, 4 is 48. So you're at least
4.5 years.
About 4.5, 5 years. But then you get out probation, so maybe
Right.
2. Maybe you do 24 months of that.
Gambled more than $300 million and was in $41 million of debt. Largely placed his bets through an illegal bookmaker who was also awaiting sentencing for his own charges. He was employed by the Dodgers at the time because he's Shohei's interpreter, but employed and paid by the Dodgers.
Okay.
But we saw something crazy last night.
Hey, Shohei got on the mound.
The
and
Dodgers had a bad
leadoff.
PR week too. So people have said it's like
Why?
a multi-step. They had the young woman who sang the national anthem in Spanish, and she came out and said that the Dodgers had asked her not to sing the national anthem in Spanish, and she sang it anyway. And then Clayton Kershaw had something with the pride hat.
Yeah, they don't like the pride hat.
Yeah, well, he especially doesn't like the pride hat. So anyway, Shohei Ohtani, baby. One of the best that we've ever seen. One of the greatest shows in sports. And we saw it for the first time from a pitching and hitting standpoint last night. We also saw one of the greatest pitching performances in baseball history at the Men's College World Series. Elimination game for Arkansas and Murray State. And Arkansas pitcher Gage Wood proceeds to throw the first no-hitter at the College World Series since 1960. Gage Wood had 19 strikeouts in the win over Murray State. That is a school record. That is the record in a 9-inning Men's College World Series game. One of 3 no-hitters in College World Series history. Arkansas wins to advance. The Cinderella run for Murray State comes to an end because sometimes, CJ, You just run into the wood. You just run into the wood, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that is what happened to Murray State because Gage Wood was on a heater.
Shocking content. Yeah.
Well, I'm speaking facts.
Jessica, you were talking about running in the wood, taking wood, something like that. Anyways, back on Gage and the Razorbacks and Murray State. This is what a run by Murray State to get this far. And I don't know, man. If it was me, I think I'd want to sort of hang out in Omaha and continue to experience the action if I was a Murray State player. Because it's not often you get to be around this much greatness. You get to sit down, get to watch it, get to kick it in the hotel on the school's dime. I'm hoping and hang out, man.
You can go take the Jello shots now.
Yeah,
you can get your count up.
Absolutely.
You can try to chase the LSU magic.
And that's what college is about, the experiences that you can get. And college athletes get to have a pretty unique experience at that age on these universities. This is a part of it. Being able to be there and experience and see with your own two eyes the best in your sport go out there and compete after you are one of the 8 best in your sport, getting to go out there and compete. Now you lost. I don't think they should go home. I think they should stay, hang out. I want to get the crowd shouts of the Murray State baseball team in the stands watching everybody else play.
No, it was a magical run for them. They beat Ole Miss at home. They make it to the College World Series. Like, that is an incredible feat. And in terms of marketability for Murray State, I don't know if this is amplified because I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and work in a building adjacent where the star of our team is a Murray State alum and the most famous Murray State alumni in John Morant. But I do feel when a team has a run like this, the name recognition of that school skyrockets because people are talking about it and it's a good story and people are interested in it. I mean, I always will go back to various NCAA tournament runs throughout time and our fascination with Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean. We're still tracking Sister Jean to this day with George Mason back in the day, with St. Peter's Peacocks. Like, those are programs that go on these runs and establish themselves in sports memory, and that really does drive interest. And even we talked about it in looking at the field in Omaha this year with Coastal Carolina, and after they won it all in 2016, the money that then poured into their baseball program. I'll be curious if this is the beginning of something for Murray State, and we're looking at stadium renovations where we see that little, politely, dinky ballpark that they play at in Murray, but it has a whole lot of love behind it, and the coach is out there mowing the grass himself. Perhaps they get upgrades.
You can't politely.
Are you mad that I called it dinky?
Yeah.
Dinky wasn't the word that I was.
Yeah.
How about
you can't politely
homely?
call anything dinkly or homely.
Yeah, homely is not
homely
good
is different also. If
what
somebody
word would
calls
we
you
use?
homely,
What's
you'd
a
be
polite?
upset.
What's a euphemism?
Somebody call me dinkly, I'd be upset.
What's a euphemism for poor?
Impoverished. I don't listen, man. Because it is a.
It has heart. Like, I'm trying to. This is how you sell
scrappy.
it. Scrappy, heart-filled.
Yeah.
Limited seats. Just got lights.
Limited
years ago.
Limited.
And now perhaps they have the opportunity to build. And listen, like, their coach was awesome and made a name for himself. And that's the thing that makes Gage Wood's performance yesterday all the more impressive. You might say, it's just against Murray State. Murray State was one of the hottest offenses in the postseason for college baseball. They were scoring at an insane rate. And for Gage Wood to turn a no-hitter is awesome. And he almost had a perfect game, which would have been incredible. I think it would have been the first perfect game in College World Series history, but he hit a batter's foot in the 8th inning. So that wiped that one out of there. But now Arkansas will play either LSU or UCLA.
Potential rematch with LSU.
Potential SEC showdown with LSU.
Well, they showed down earlier.
No, I know, but.
And another SEC showdown.
One more step.
Yep.
Closer.
And one of those teams get eliminated.
And then you have Oregon State, Louisville. And the other one.
Okay.
Give me Oregon State, UCLA, and a good old-fashioned Pac-12
Not
showdown.
anymore.
That's my Pac-12. We'll get into the Memphis Pac-12 story tomorrow, give it some proper time and flush out Pete Thamel's report on what Memphis could be looking at in terms of joining the Pac-12 one day as a football member versus what that would mean for their other sports, perhaps an opportunity to join the Big East, which would be huge for Memphis basketball down the stretch. But we'll save that for Oops, We Missed It Again on tomorrow's show. We will take a quick break. We'll come back, do some TV Tuesday. I'm watching Love Island. I haven't talked about it on this show, It's my first time watching Love Island.
Oh, I thought you watched the last season.
No.
Okay.
I'm not really I don't say this in a no, because I'm jealous of people who are super into reality TV. They say people who watch reality TV are the smartest people. There is an intelligence factor with those dedicated to watching reality television and really like the anthropological study of reality TV. I just can't usually get into it, but I finally was rewarded by dedicating a lot of hours to Love Island with one of the best reality television episodes I've ever watched. We'll also talk about The Mortician because CJ and I are both watching it and it is crazy. We'll get into that when we come back.
Overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Incredible.
Not a cheesecake brownie.
The
It is a cheesecake
the
brownie.
frosting is
It is cheesecake.
I'm pretty sure it's cheesecake. And Jessica,
Life changing.
that thing got some heft to it.
Mm.
So it's hefty,
Hmm.
and it is. It's like eating a brownie with, I don't want to say milk, but something similar, right? You eat
Yeah.
the brownie, you get the hot brownie, you put
Yes.
like ice cream or something.
Yes.
It's similar to that. It's similar to that. Only they're both cold.
I had one of those experiences yesterday. You share food all the time on Instagram saying, I need it. And I'll see food often and it looks good. But every now and then I'll see something in another city that I can't get because I don't live there. And I'm so sad about it. There was this place I don't even know where it was. 2 places in New York were doing a collaboration. One makes cookies, and these cookies looked incredible. They were like this thick, but they were like kind of crispy on the outside. And when you opened it up, it was like
gooey?
soft and gooey, and the chocolate was like coming out.
Crispy and gooey?
Yes. Yes. Looked like the perfect chocolate chip cookie to me. And then there was this ice cream place, and it was like soft servy, but had a more thickness to it. And it was this thick vanilla swirl that then went on the chocolate chip cookies. And then they put the cookies together with the ice cream, and they made it an ice cream sandwich. And I will be thinking about it for a long time, and I can't have it.
I'm doing a day trip.
I can't have it.
Doing a day trip to St. Louis to eat food.
That's next level.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
To eat food.
Hey, we both found out we're both watching The Mortician today. I was going to recommend it to you. Gary Parrish recommended it to me like a week and a half ago. And watched the first episode and get through about 30 minutes.
Gary recommended it to you
Yes.
a week and a half ago. That means that only one of the episodes was out.
No, by the time I watched it, 2 were out.
But by the time Gary watched it, have you watched the second episode? Because I'm curious. Because after the first episode,
No.
the first episode I thought was like,
yes,
yo,
he had watched this. He had watched the second episode.
Okay,
Yes,
all
he had
right.
watched, and he had said it's going to start a little slow, but I promise it gets crazy, and it does get crazy. It is the story of a mortician, a man named David Sconce, who has been in prison for things that happened in regards to a funeral home that he helped run in Pasadena, California in the early 1980s. And the beginning is just setting up the history of the funeral home and the history of cremation and what happens to these bodies. And then this family who was very beloved. And like, if you had a Much Ado About person and they died in this area, they went to this funeral home and they went through, if they were being cremated, like this was the place that you took them, or not cremated, like they had their choices. But this is specifically about the people who ended up being cremated.
In the first episode it is.
The first episode. Yes. And you start learning about the like sheer number of cremations that start happening, and you're like, something seems off here. And then you find out what is off. You're saying nothing interesting happened in the first episode, and I push back on that greatly.
I mean, it was fine. I didn't find too much remarkably interesting. I will say they go from, to your point about the cremations, they go from, David Sconce goes from 194 cremations in like 1982 to 1983, 1,000 and something. And then by 84, it's like 3,500. And then by 86, it's astronomical from there. They start off only doing maybe 200, max 200. And by the time everything's about to hit the fan, they're doing like thousands a year.
And how they do thousands a year, I think, is worthy of
what happens
the first episode being interesting. I mean, the thought that, spoiler alert, that somebody is like breaking the arms of people so that they can smash as many bodies in that crematorium as possible. And then talking about how people were getting ashes back of people that weren't their loved ones. And then David Sconce is like, so practical about the matter. Like, I don't know what you would think. If you think every time someone's cremated, they're not getting all the ashes out of the limestone, I don't know what to tell you. Like, nobody's getting like pure ashes back. Or talking about how for the out to sea burials, that's a popular thing. Like sometimes when you give a body over, the family will say, please just take these ashes out to sea. That's where we want them to be buried. And he would just throw them all out at the same time.
He's like, so what?
And he's like, so what?
What does it matter if it's individual or
here's the problem.
There?
If you remove all emotion from it, but you can't remove all emotion from things of life because we operate by a moral compass. But if you did, he's not wrong.
No.
He's efficient.
Yes.
He got their efficiency numbers up to a wild rate. Now, it's horrific to think of some poor person who thought that they had their family's ashes all these years and then finds out that actually you might either have someone else's ashes, you might have some sand from the desert. We don't know.
The practicality with which he discusses something that we don't even talk about because we're not comfortable having these conversations. And he's just so practical about it. It's like, oh, you are a real villain. Now,
he's a sociopath.
I will say that the first episode ends. It's like, okay, I understand why people are upset, but I'm not all the way sure what exactly. I know what the wrong thing is.
Are we
I'm not
introduced to
sure
the guy
we are
who-
what the punishment is adequately for the wrong thing.
Yes.
And what deters the next person from seeing this and saying, "Oh, he only did blah 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 years. Oh, I can do that, no problem if I get caught." We aren't introduced to the action until the second
Yes.
episode. And once
Multiple actions.
Once that action come, ooh boy, you're like, holy hell. Is he more villainous than Chimp Crazy Lady?
Yes.
Is he more villainous than Joe Exotic?
Yes.
More villainous than Carol Baskin?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Understand what we're saying.
That's yeah.
More villainous than Natasha's daddy.
Natalia Grace.
Natalia's daddy.
Yeah, because
The
there's
first
more
father.
people involved here.
Okay. Yeah. And
It's
listen,
because it's a system. I'm not telling you what he does.
I will say that he goes out, that it starts, and he's just pulling all of these high school football players. He wants
some muscle.
big, muscular dudes
Yes.
to come through to hoist these bodies, and to your point, spoiler alert, to break their bones so that he can fit as many as possible into the
And to do
incinerator.
other things.
Well, listen, there are
I
other
haven't
stuff
watched the
happening.
third episode.
I haven't
so
either.
I don't know how it ends.
We know how it ends. He ends up in jail.
Right, but what does he actually go to jail for? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if there's any additional punishment because it's not just him.
Mm.
This ends up being a true definition of a family business,
Well,
which
let's
is
hold on.
crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Wild stuff. They do a good job. It makes, once you get to one of the big reveals, I'm assuming there'll be another big reveal in the third episode.
Sure.
Once you get to the big reveal in the second episode, you're like, oh, it makes sense why that first episode was so damn boring.
Yeah.
Because all they do in the first, especially the first half of the first episode, is tell you how wonderfully and delightfully white this family is.
Sure.
The entire old money. They've been in this business
Or
forever.
hardworking money, I guess.
Hardworking. The mom is a homemaker. The dad is a hard worker. The son was an All-American football player. Right? Like
They were
that's
used
all they do.
in an advertisement for something. They were literally a commercial family.
Yes. That's all they spend that first, and then that big one comes like, damn it, I knew it.
Something was off.
I knew it. So yeah,
But I
it's
do
good.
think they also do a good job of this like monster in David Scones and then revealing like
They
not
do-
just this guy.
They do a slow roll with him as the monster.
And they do a slow roll with
Yeah.
others around. Anyway, watch The Mortician on HBO Max. Before we get out of here, I have started Love Island. Not started. I'm now in it. And I've been very frustrated with this show. I don't understand how people have so much time for Love Island. And my friends have so rudely come back and said, "You watch sports every night. It's no different." And I'm like, oh my God, I hate that you're making a point right now. CJ, Love Island is on 6 nights a week. 6 nights a week, except for Hump Day. It's not on Wednesdays.
Shouldn't it be on Hump Day?
So many episodes of Love Island. So much time with these super hot, young, dumb people
Are they
doing.
dumb?
Yeah, their frontal
Cortex is
is not. No,
Okay.
there are multiple times per
So let's do
episode
it. They're
where you're
22,
like, oh, you
23?
poor babies. Yeah.
Okay.
They're babies. They're little bebés, young adults.
What's the point of Love Island?
You put a bunch of hot people on this
here we
island
go.
together, and eventually the goal is for them to couple up, to form relationships. And this is, I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm not a forever Love Islander. This was a show in the UK that was wildly popular. It came over to the US. I think last season was the first US season, and this is the second season in the United States. And I got to admit, it's been a bit of a slog until the second to last episode. There was an episode last night that I couldn't watch because I was watching the NBA Finals, because how do you keep up with all of these episodes? But the episode before that made the entire process worth it. I was like, this is why I've watched this show. This was a fantastic episode of reality television.
Because it was
Dramatic, messy,
Okay.
crash out,
Ooh,
light.
okay.
Like you've been waiting for this crash out, and
You
it
saw
sets
it
the
coming.
scene. We've been waiting for this girl named Huda, Coulda, Woulda. That's how she introduced herself. Again, one of the girls' names was Belle-A. Her name's Bella. I called her Beldasha. I didn't do it. TikTok did it, but then I picked up on it. She was out a while ago.
So
But
wait, you
people
get voted out?
People get voted off, and then finally, so there was a twist on the second to last episode where you finally had America vote, but the way that America was voting, they split up 3 of the like established couples on the show, and then the 3 people from those who like weren't recoupled with new members, because they'll bring like hot new bombshells into the villa. So like half of the couples were recoupled with the bombshells, and then the other 3 were up on the chopping block to get voted off. And you think that they're going to vote off the girl who was crash out.
Belle Dash?
Right? No, that's
Okay.
a long time ago. I shouldn't have even brought her up. She's irrelevant to this episode.
Shout out
But
to
you're like,
Belle
oh,
Dash.
finally, like this woman who's been kind of psychotic. Like, and I hate using that word for women, but
If the shoe fits.
you have to go in on it, because otherwise you must call it out as you see it. And then they turn, and it ends up being this guy who had his girl was making out with this guy named Pepe. But then she realized she really loved this dude, or liked him enough to have a relationship with him. And they have this big, like, come to Jesus meeting between the 2 of them, that they're going to be exclusive, that they like each other, that like this is all they want, and they're like super happy and emotional and lovey. And then she gets recoupled with Pepe by America. America voted to recouple her with Pepe, and he gets voted off. And they had just had this big moment, and now they're torn apart. And there's this picture of her in a preview, and she's like crying over a picture of the 2 of them, and it's like he was sent off to war. It's the dumbest show. But it's fantastic. And now I'm sucked in. And now I'm committed to watch the whole thing, because I was wavering. You can ask Chris. I complained about it. I was like, I gotta go watch another episode of Love Island. I'm watching it when I get ready in the morning. I'm watching it when I do dishes. I'm watching it when I fold laundry. It's very much a chore show. But anyway, shout out to all the people who made me watch Love Island. It was worth it. We gotta go early today because CJ and I have to go take a Pilates class. You'll find out about it. It's part of our off-season summer adventure. So we'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a Wednesday. D'Angelo Williams will join us. We'll do some stories we haven't gotten to this week. We'll keep previewing the NBA Finals, and maybe some big NBA trade news will happen today as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.
What the hell is Pilates?
That's for you to find out.
Okay.